my job is just to get everybody sitting down and, introducing Brian Jones, one of the family members who are the owners of Plumbers Supply, this fantastic ribbon, for fantastic ribbon cutting that we'll be having today. I just wanted to take 2 minutes. There's going to be a bunch of thank yous and all that stuff that's going on today, but just a couple of quick things. One, Brian and his entire team have been so easy to work with throughout this entire process, including this meeting, that please, when the time comes to give them rounds of applause, do that, and then certainly do that some more. They're great corporate citizens for New Bedford, so they should be certainly acknowledged for that. Second is the really great relationship that the EDC and the staff members have with the Greater New Bedford Industrial Foundation. We manage the day-to-day operations for the Industrial Foundation, but it's really under Liz's leadership as the chairman and the entire executive committee. So they have the vision, they have the direction. Our job is to execute. That relationship is strong. It's been strong for a couple of years. We're going to continue that for another couple of years. So we're excited about that. And I don't know if Tabitha Harkin, the city planner for New Bedford, is here. So there are a couple of things that we've been working on hard on behalf of the Industrial Foundation. So there's a new website that's going to launch on Monday. Medium Studios, a local provider, finished that up, and all those last links are going to be squared away for Monday morning. Poignant Signs right here in the park is doing a big upgrade on the signage, and sort of after 25 years, that upgrade has been needed. And Tabitha Harkin, the city planner, is also a landscape architect, has been a tremendous help in the whole entry scheme in the new plantings as you make your way into the business park. Steve Martins is here, was actually sent a couple of notes on the improvements there in a much more eco-friendly way of the plant scheme and environmentally watering and all that stuff. So it's going to look great, it's going to be environmentally friendly, and we're excited about that. So without further ado, let me introduce Brian from Plumbers Supply. Brian?
Thank you, Derek. Appreciate that. As Derek said, my name is Brian Jones. I'm one of the owners of Plumbers Supply Company. Together with my father, Kevin, my uncle Jay, my cousin Ryan, and my brothers Mark and Sean, we own and operate the business. So on behalf of the entire Jones family, I'd like to welcome you all to Plumbers Supply, our new corporate office and distribution center. We're very excited to be in our new home here in the New Bedford Industrial Park. This facility here is approximately 175,000 square feet, 20,000 square feet of office space, and about 150,000 of warehouse. It's home to about 45 employees, including all of our back office functions, finance, operations, marketing, and IT. And our warehouse team that serves to support our 16 branches, replenishing them with inventory on a daily basis. This facility here is twice the size of our previous headquarters, and should allow our company to add additional branches in the state, and which in turn we think will translate into more good jobs here in New Bedford. This construction project and the physical move from our previous headquarters on Church Street in New Bedford was by far the largest undertaking in the history of our company. And it wouldn't have been possible without the help of many. So our family, the Jones family, would like to extend a few thank yous. To the city of New Bedford, to Mayor Mitchell, and to the City Council, we'd like to thank you for your support through this project and the approval of the TIF, which was essential in making this project a reality. We'd like to thank the Industrial Foundation for your assistance working with us on the acquisition of the land. To the New Bedford Economic Development Council, in particular Derek Santos and Ramon Silva, you've been a great resource for the company since the project started almost 2 years ago, and continue to be so today. Ramon, he might regret giving me a cell phone number. I call him on a fairly frequent basis. To our bank, the Rockland Trust Company, in financing the project. Our relationship with Rockland Trust goes back 3 generations, and we look forward to continuing that relationship for years to come. To construction management builders, the CM&B, who is the general contractor on this project, It was our first project together, and they did prove to be a first-class operation. Lastly, and most importantly, this project was made possible by our many dedicated employees. I can't emphasize enough how much our family appreciates the effort put forth by our employees to make this project a success. This facility is a significant investment in the future of Plumbers Supply Company, and it's a long-term commitment to the city of New Bedford. For those of you who may not have, we get a little parking issue, but driven to that end of the building, we have plenty of land left. So our hope is that we'll be welcoming you all back here in a few years for the groundbreaking on an expansion. With that, I'll turn it over to Liz to kick off the annual meeting.
Thank you, Brian. I don't want to steal any of Mayor Mitchell's thunder, but I do have to begin by offering thanks and congratulations to the Brian and the Jones family and the entire team at Plumbers Supply. We're very grateful to have them host our annual meeting this year and truly excited about this building and the development. I mean, everybody that's come in the door is like, wow, this is great. Look how big it is, how new it is. It's beautiful. I mean, it's a first-class facility, and we're very happy to have you here in the park, and we look forward to seeing you grow. I'd also like to take a moment to welcome and thank the elected officials who are here this afternoon. Brad Markey, who's Councilor of Ward 1, is here somewhere. And Linda Morad, Councilor at Large, is here also. So thank you both for coming. We're here to take a moment to celebrate a business park that covers 1,300 acres with 41 companies, employing more than 3,200 people. All manners of goods are manufactured in the park, from the world's #1 golf ball to medical devices, to heating systems, and the best plumbing products in America. I guess they're not manufactured here, but they're here anyway. The park continues to be one of New Bedford's greatest economic development assets, with companies that are industry leaders in craftsmanship and innovation. As we come even closer to having a fully occupied and bustling park, we are meeting our original purpose as an organization, to work towards a solution for high unemployment, to aid local industry with expansion, and to attract new industries to the community. The expansion by Plumbers Supply gets us one step closer to a fully occupied park, and was possible in large because of the Foundation's management arrangement with the EDC. This partnership has resulted in our having a full team of professionals working for the benefit of the park and park companies, and I'd like to thank the whole EDC team, and I wish you'd join me in giving them all a round of applause. It must also be stated that the services that the city provides to the park companies are critical to the success of the park and the skilled employees who work here every day. The city is a great partner, and John is a hands-on mayor, and we rely on our partnership with many agencies in the city and everybody in City Hall for their critical efforts in driving investment and job creation. But before we get to the mayor and cutting the ribbon for this great new facility, we do have a little bit of business that we have to take care of. With that, I'd like to officially call the meeting to order and ask Bob Mitchell, Secretary of the Foundation, for his report and election of committee members and officers.
Thank you, Liz. Congratulations to the Jones family. The minutes of the October 9th, 2018 annual meeting have been distributed to the trustees. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of that meeting? So moved. Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The minutes of the October 9th, 2018 annual meeting have been approved. We will now move to the election of the executive committee members and then to the election of officers. Election of the executive committee members, 3-year term. The nominating committee nominates Elizabeth Isherwood, Jeff Van Cura, Carl Ribeiro, and Bob Mitchell, each for a 3-year term to expire in 2022. May I have a motion to re-elect? So moved. Thank you. Do I hear a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? None. Motion carries. Welcome back, Liz, Jeff, Carl, and myself. The election of officers. According to the bylaws, the officers of the organization to be elected at the annual meeting by the trustees. The nominating committee nominates the following slate of officers. Chairman, Elizabeth Isherwood. Vice Chairman, Dave Cabral. Secretary, Bob Mitchell. Treasurer, Jeff Van Cura. Do I hear any additional nominations from the floor? There being none, may I have a motion to accept the slate of officers as nominated?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. To accept the slate of individuals presented to serve as officers of the Greater New Bedford Industrial Foundation. I'd now like to introduce Jeff Van Cura, the treasurer, for his treasurer's report. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Congratulations to me and everyone else that we're back. The Greater New Bedford Industrial Foundation has a fiscal year that ends in August. We just completed our most current fiscal year and came around with a little bit less than $55,000 net loss for the year, which is actually pretty good for us. We take our proceeds and use them, part of it, the beautification of the park as well. So we're in a reasonably good financial position as an organization, much stronger than we have been in the past years. We do have some interesting and exciting things going on. Lot 10, which is the first as you come in off of Barnett, is under agreement right now. We hope to be settling on that in 2020, hopefully. We have our fingers crossed for that. And I think at that point, we will be fully sold. The park will be fully occupied, which is a great thing for all of us. The Industrial Foundation as an organization is really focused on helping benefit what we're trying to do here. Make this part pleasant, make it a nice place to work and somewhere that people want to come and work, as evidenced by this beautiful facility that the Jones family at Plumbers Supply have created here. It's really, really inspiring, and honestly, I'm very, very jealous. So, other than that, that's pretty much my report. I need to have someone approve the report. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Thank you very much. I'm going to bring Liz back up.
Thank you, Jeff. Well, at this point, I'd like to introduce Mayor Mitchell and bring him to the podium. Once again, thank him for his leadership, because he seems to have everything in his back pocket ready to go. So, we're going to hold on it. We've got 2 more citations.
Oh, okay. All right, so we'll just hold off on that. All right, we'll hold off on that. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. And this is, I walk in here and I'm like, if you're going to build a building this big, you better have TVs this big. Really fitting, right? I would just imagine like a little 13-inch up here. It just would have been so out of place, right? But anyway, it's great to see everybody. It's great to be at this annual event and to see the park clicking as it is, and the fact that Lot 10 is close to being locked up, I think, is just another milestone in the progress of the park over the last several years. It's a problem we want to have, which is a full park. So I wanted to just come on up and say, essentially offer words of thanks to a few folks, and maybe just throw out a couple of observations. So first and foremost, I just really want to congratulate and thank the Jones family for investing in New Bedford and reinvesting in New Bedford. It's a really great legacy going all the way back to the 1880s as Plumbers Supply, and then with the Jones family since the early 70s or so. Yeah. So it's a great run, and there are many businesses in the city that have had runs like that, and it's a reflection in every particular case of a family or a group of folks that is just committed to place, and I think that's so important for businesses to for an ethic to businesses to have. Being a good corporate citizen means, in part contributing back to the place, right? is there's this, and Tony Sapienza has heard me say this before, but, every business should, as de Tocqueville said, understand proceed with their self-interest rightly understood. In other words, that, giving back, contributing to the place, and in a way, in ways that are both expected and unexpected, contributes to the business, to the organization. If a business is good to New Bedford will be good to you in the long run in ways that you might not anticipate. So for a business like yours, Brian and Jay and the whole Jones family, we really are, proud that you're here and proud that you're expanding and doing it in such a way that reflects a commitment to excellence. This place is huge for one thing. It's really big, but beyond just the scale of it, it's clearly modern in every respect. It reflects a commitment to doing business very well, to doing what you do very well, better than your competition, and that's what we want to be about in New Bedford. That's how places thrive. They thrive when they recognize that they've got to be the best, and when cities, and this is sort of my second point, cities are there to work hand in hand. And so, in that way, I really appreciate the hustle of the EDC team under Derek's leadership, under Tony's leadership. That's how cities go. You may have to, in some ways, out hustle the competition. That's what we're committed to as a city, with our economic development arms, the EDC, with the board, with the foundation board under Liz's leadership. We work hand in hand with business because we understand that businesses have to compete effectively in a global economy, and they can't do it in a place that's not responsive. And we want to be not only responsive, but work with you to anticipate your needs in the future. So, really great job in putting this project together. The other thing I'll just say is, this is in along the same vein. This is a good example how anticipatory public investment can yield great results. So we were here once for a ribbon cutting, right, on Flaherty Drive, the drive itself, and the utilities underneath, and a little bit of landscaping, but it wasn't like the most, visually compelling ribbon cutting. It was a road with some drainage and sewage lines that you couldn't see underneath.
And turtle signs.
And avoid the turtle signs. But that was some, 5 or 6 years or so ago. But we knew that road, which was made possible by a combination of city funds, I think there was some state funds, the Economic Development Agency funds from the federal government, the Department of Commerce played a big role in constructing all that. We knew that was going to open up this huge lot right here, which was the last frontier in the industrial park. And sure enough, it happened. It happened because there was market demand for it, a great company in Plumbers Supply ready to invest, but it happened because, we paved the way for it. And so, as we look at other opportunities to leverage the city's competitive advantages in the long run, a little bit of investment can go a long way. We'll continue to talk about the golf course, especially in the context of a full park here, right? So there's more pent-up demand for greenfield space in eastern Massachusetts, a whole lot of it, and not a whole lot of space to satisfy that demand. And so the golf course will certainly play a part. A number of things that we're doing on the waterfront right now are unlocking investment. The North Terminal project with the EPA terminal right next door, and the dredging project that we'll do a ribbon cutting on next week, that's opening up new things like the recently closed Revere Copper and Brass investment, right? Big private sector investment followed suit. So, when we work closely with business and we recognize the opportunities and the challenges, and we marshal some public resources to unlock those opportunities, good things can happen. And this is a great example. So I just want to say to everybody, and I know Linda and Brad and the city council feel the same way. The city of New Bedford is prepared to support business expansion. We're prepared to make things happen for you guys. We want to see all you guys, all of you, succeed handsomely at what you do. And when we all work all together, we'll have you know, a richer city for it in the long run, richer in every respect of the word. So thanks for all of your hard work. This is a fantastic project. There's a lot to be excited about here, the job opportunities. Ultimately, that TIF's going to run out, guys, and we'll get more tax revenue. We like that, too. We're looking forward to that day, you know, that's phasing out of that TIF. You know, but no, seriously, that's there's a lot to like here, and you know, we look forward to that expansion whenever it comes. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mayor. Before we proceed to the ribbon cutting, there are some citations here. I know the mayor has brought one, the city council has brought one, and Steve Martins has brought one from State Treasurer Deb Goldberg. I'm not going to ask them to read them because I think we'd all like to eat and drink and get the ribbon cutting going. But I'd like them all to come up and present them to you, please, Brian.
Sure. Stand up.
All right, let me just do this. Take a picture. You guys can come in. That's fine.
Hey, Vanna White, show your letters.
Yeah. Do your best, man.
Open it. Open it.
Something in there?
So hopefully these will be out in your lobby where everybody can see them.
Yeah.
Wait for that guy. Good job. All right. Right there.
Thank you very much.